had a dream of this. I had a very prophetic dream of a snake, and it was a horrible dream. And, anyways, the snake was attacking everybody and transforming them. And then it was trying, and then after they shed their human skin, it mated with each and every one of them. And it was more than just females, it was males too. It was really disgusting. And I'm looking, my son told me I should sketch it out, so this is what I'm doing. I'm sketching out this snake that was in my dreams. I have a side view of just a basic one, and I'm going to add everything that I seen in my dream. And it was really, really gruesome. I'm sure it was just one of those prophetic dreams. I have a lot of them. I seriously do, but yeah. It was pretty horrible. I found a base sketch of a sideways snake that didn't have a lot of detail, which I kind of need to go by. And it had a flat head, the snake, in my dream. And it was a huge, gigantic one. I woke up and I was just like, WTF. It was horrible. But I figured I was going to sketch it out and I'll do it on stream. Like I always do my sketches. So I'm starting this and waiting for you guys. Because I am not a fan of snakes. I respect their existence, but I am just not a fan of them. I don't think I would ever really own a snake. I'm kind of good with that. I'll stick with mammals. I know some people love snakes. Not this one. Not at all. But yeah, the snake was so horrible, and it was like it didn't even devour everybody. It was just biting them, and before you know it, all their human the things that made him human were gone. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, like wow. I'm sure it was just some crazy dream, but I figured I might as well sketch it out. So here I am. But if you guys need any readings, I am available. I just like to get my little sketchings out of the way. Just getting the whole baseline of this because it was a gigantic, ugly creature, and it actually was talking to me. Because I seen the whole thing played out in my dream. It was just terrorizing these people. I don't know if it meant anything or what happened, but it is what it is, and or it just could have been too many vitamins. I don't know. But I'm here sketching, and I got this so far. I don't know if you guys can see. I got to do a light sketch at first. But it was pretty horrible. I don't know if it's symbolic. Some people say, when you have a bad dream, I'm sure there's not snakes out there that are devouring and transforming people, but it could have meant something else. A lot of times I have a lot of dream symbolism that comes on. And sometimes different creatures can mean different things. So, I couldn't tell you what it means. I'd have to look it up. But maybe it means something. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I'm sketching out what I seen in my dream because it woke me up at like 2 in the morning. And at 2 in the morning, I was just horrified. I started cleaning. I didn't even want to go back to sleep. And then the end of my dream, there was a guy and he was being transformed. And the snake that spoke perfect English, it was weird. It was like he was speaking in tongues. And he said, "Oh, you have a beautiful snake body." And then the guy was literally pleading with the snake and telling the snake that he hasn't transformed yet because he did not want the snake to have sex with him. It was, it was disturbing on a lot of different levels. I was, ugh. It was terrible. But I got the basic one, and then I already know the colors of the snake that I seen in my dream. But I just want to get a good side view thing so I can get all the details of the snake that terrorized my dream yesterday. And I do get a lot. I am a dreamer, and I remember every dream I have. I really do. And I haven't had a dream like this in a long time. Sometimes they say when you dream things, it could mean somebody's being, I don't know, doing horrible things. Or there's a bad event about to happen. Or it could mean, I've been told it could mean something to someone else. But I sure don't think it had anything to do with anything I was going through. So maybe somebody out there has somebody that's some kind of enemy or something, and they're going to deceive them and try to transform their views or something. I don't know. Possibly. But yeah, it was a horrible dream. See, I was bringing up some basic sketches of some other ones, but this snake had a smooth head in my dream. So I'm going to sketch it out like I always do. Because I seem to have a lot of crazy dreams like this. I'm going to get his little tongue. I got this so far. But yeah, sometimes when I try to explain to people what I was dreaming about, it's hard to really explain it unless I sketch it out of what it actually looks like. So maybe it means something to someone. I couldn't tell you. And if it does, maybe it means someone's going to deceive you. Because I am on YouTube, and sometimes I always get them for other people. And I guess that's a part of one of my gifts is I'm always constantly dreaming. And a lot of times I'll have happy dreams. Alright, here we go. I just need to get the details of this tongue in here, and then I'm going to sketch out the layout of the snake. But it helps. My son even told me to go ahead and sketch it out. And if I'm going to sketch, it's going to be here. I'm not going to be... I do all of my stuff here, so I could blog my activity. Because I feel it's more beneficial when I have these crazy dreams to do it, because I don't know, I think snakes mean... I think it's like deceit. It could I know they signify deceit. And someone that's doing just really horrible things. And snakes are really good at being sneaky. So it could mean that somebody is just having some sneakiness or someone's about to deceive them. I don't know. But I felt I should do this sketch over here. Because what I have, it's horrible, the dreams I have sometimes. And I was thinking happy thoughts. I was thinking of happy cartoon characters at the time. So that goes to show you. Alright, I think I have enough layout so I can do the rest. I got the body done. And now I'm gonna sketch out all the details here. Because this snake had lots of spots. So I don't even need the drawing anymore because I already know what I seen. It had these different kinds of things here. So if you're here and you have somebody that's deceiving you, maybe I was meant to draw this for you. I don't know. Or pose as a warning. Because sometimes these things I have pose as a warning. And and I guess if you're listening and you decided to come in the stream, possibly it's you. I don't know, but I know pretty sure it's not me because I pretty much have my chakras cleared. Honestly. And I have a lot of protection around my house. I really do. I don't let deceitful people near me. I can't stand people that are deceitful. If you're not within truth, I don't mess with you. I really don't. I know it sounds terrible, but I can't stand snake skin. I just think it's that's the one thing I don't like. I'm not a big reptile fan. I don't like their skin, and I'm not a fan of sharks either. I mean, there has been people, very rich people, that have sharks as pets and stuff like that, but I would never have a shark either. Because honestly, sharks are very unpredictable. You know, you have kids and you have a pet shark. They get, when the kids get in there, go swimming, they're going to die. That's the consensus. But there has been people that have done this. People with lots of money they got the resources. Some people, I'm sure there has been somebody, I don't know them personally, but I'm sure there's somebody that has a great white as a pet. And people do this. I think it's very horrible thing to do, considering that there is captivity for any kind of creature like that is horrible, even though they are the top of their food chain. Anything that's the top of the food chain can cause some damage. But yeah, they had these lines that were coral down here. Okay, I'm going to shade these teeth. Just the edge here. And then the side here. Just because this horrible demon snake in my dreams had this horrible teeth. I don't know how the hell he transformed these people because my dream left off. They were being, in my dream, these people were being deceived by a greater evil, too. It was crazy. And they were arguing about, they were just arguing about, it wasn't even politics or nothing. They were arguing about, it was a child. And the snake went and he bit the child, and everybody was protecting the child, and the child turned to a snake and was biting everybody. It had something to do with a child, which really disturbed me even more because I like kids. I think children are wonderful, and I hate when kids are hurt. But this damn snake bit the kid, and that was it. She was like, it wanted the kid, and the kid ended up turning into a snake and biting all of them, and that's when he just started having sex with all of them, trying to, I guess, procreate his own different kind of race. And it could be that somebody's being deceitful to somebody who is going through a custody battle. And there could be improper sexual relations. That could be something. But generally, like I said, the consensus is that I'm not going through any of this stuff, so I think it might be one of you guys. But yeah, here was the sides, how it looked. There. It had these here. Alright. And then it had these spots that extended out. It was horrible. It was a horrible thing. And then here, it had like, after the spots, it had like little checkers. So I'm going to sketch that out. So if anybody's going through some kind of custody, all that, there's a lot of deceit in it. I will say that much. Alright. It was boxy right here. Like these little checkered things. It was a very sneaky thing. It was like this whole family was just fighting over this kid, and then all of a sudden the snake had the kid. I mean, ugh. It was horrible. I hope the snake didn't have sex with the kid. I couldn't tell you, but I hope to God it didn't. But I hope it was just a dream. A lot of times when I dream, it's not just a dream. It's always a message. And this was a very explicit, nasty message. And it really, honestly, was the most horrible thing I've ever dreamed of, because it was a beautiful little girl that had blonde hair. Cute as hell. And this was the person they were fighting over. And then this thing appeared. I don't know if it represents somebody in a, like I said, a custody battle or whatever. I just couldn't tell you. But there was sexual stuff involved. I hope it wasn't with the child. Because in my dream, the snake, from what I seen, wasn't trying to have sex with the child, but it was having sex with everybody else involved, including the men. Because once it transformed him, that was what he done. But they say that if you force sex upon somebody, it's a sign of dominance. So it could be that somebody's trying to dominate somebody, and in a bad way. That could be too. That's why I don't like snakes. They just define a lot of negativity. And they represent a lot of negativity. There's some snake stories that I've been reading. There was a lady that had a pet snake. It was one of these real stories, not one of these stories you're like, huh? What the hell was that? But she had this gigantic snake and she wanted a pet and she liked reptiles. And the snake kept getting bigger and bigger and it stopped eating and sized her up. And, anyways, after it sized her up, she brought it to the vet because she was concerned because her pet snake wasn't eating. And, anyways, after she went to the vet, the vet told her that the snake was completely healthy, and she told him how the snake's activity was doing. And I guess the snake was sizing her up for a meal. Sometimes these are not your best friends to have as a pet. And if they get big enough, they'll attack your dog. They'll eat your small mammals around the house that are your pets. This is what they do. So I do urge everybody to kind of, if you are insisting on getting a snake, to be very careful. Do not sleep with them. Do not let them in your bed. And these kind of things. I've heard too many horror stories. And my brother said his neighbor had a snake. And I guess the snake had did the same thing to his neighbor. That's why I said that I don't think this was a fabricated story. I guess the snake literally sized him up and attacked him, wrapped himself around his neighbor, and tried to kill him. And by the time they found him, the snake was trying, I guess it was they didn't see him for a while. It was like a day or two, and the snake was trying to half consume him. And he was like dead. And that's the way he died, with his snake half consuming him. And it was a big snake. So I would be really careful with snakes. And I know there's reptile lovers out there. And like I said, I'm a friend of humanity. I like snakes and all stuff, but I do advise them against pets. I know everybody's against the pit bulls, but honestly, if I had to take my thing against a pit bull and a snake, I'll take the pit bull any day. Pit bulls are sweethearts if you raise them right. Snakes, they're wild. If you have any kind of animal that's wild, they have that natural instinct to eat, and their natural instinct is to look for their prey. So they're going to look for your dog, your cat, and just a lot of stuff around your house. You don't want that. It's not good. I seen a thing on Facebook the one time that came through my page when I was over there, and I was still able to get on my page. And it's one of these things that leaked out. And I don't think Facebook meant it to come out. But anyways, there was this really, really cute black lab. Well, it wasn't black, it was a golden lab. And there was this snake, and it was a big snake, and you could tell this was raw footage. It looked like a giant python that somebody just fed really good for the longest time. And and the dog was trying to run from the snake, and it was in the hallway, and the people were actually following the dog and the snake trying to get to the dog, and the snake almost got the dog a couple times, and the dog eventually got the dog, and he wrapped his head around his face, and I reported it right away. I don't know if it came from the dark web or where it came from, but it ended up on my page. I went and shared it to my group, and I did a quick live stream, and I pleaded to Facebook because it was raw footage. I could tell. I'm a content creator. This was not AI. You could tell if it's raw footage or not. Somebody maliciously did this, and you can have. And there is people that do have snakes that get that big. And anyways, this black lab, was crying as he got his head, and it was crying, and then it stopped crying, and I don't know how it got to my page, but I was trying to plead for justice for this puppy. I think Facebook at that point took down the post. I don't know if the people that did it ever got caught. My husband told me that it was probably someone that was just getting even with somebody who was malicious. So, I don't know. But they have been known, if they get big enough, to eat small dogs. And you could tell this was a well-fed snake. And folks, like I said, I know real footage and not from real footage from doing enough videos, because every once in a while I use AI my damn self, and I can tell raw footage from unraw footage. And I went to work, and I was just horrified. And my one friend, she has a band, and she told me that I need to report it to the authorities. Well, how are you supposed to report it to authorities? I was on Facebook, so I reported it to Facebook. And they said they were going to take care of it. But it was like one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen on social media. And sometimes these things, they do appear, and people do these heinous acts, and they think it's cool and funny. And there is people that do this kind of thing. And I think Facebook tried to track their page and where it came from and everything else. I mean, me and Facebook have had our issues here and there, but they actually do try to. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. They do try to make right with the wrong, and I believe they did tell me they tried to track it, but sometimes it's hard. You got all these different hate groups and stuff, and people that don't like each other type thing. And sometimes when people don't like you and you're not on the right side of the law, and they want to set an example, these are the things that happen to you when you're on that wrong side of the law. But it was truly horrifying. And it's something that just came across my page that I couldn't unsee. And that's why I try to look for justice for animals. I have seen a lot. And then I do know and I know this from Facebook firsthand. There was a lady that always put a post because she rescued a dog that was in a fighting pit. When you put take your dogs and say free puppies for sale or free cats, this one lady here, this was the coloring of it in my dreams. This one lady was buying up cats, because this one lady was just trying to be nice and get her cats a nice home, and there was always free cats, for a post. And this lady was buying up all these free cats, and it was to feed her snake. So somebody else did a post saying do not post free puppies or free kittens, because especially baby kittens, some people are sick enough to where they will feed them to their snake, and there was a person going on Facebook feeding their snakes little kittens. And she would just tell him, yeah, I'll pick up your kittens. And she would pick up litter kittens and feed her snake. It was disgusting. And then the lady that rescued a dog from the pits, you seen where his face was half gouged out and stuff? And they do the free puppy post, and the people that do dog fights just to get their dogs to get them real mean, they'll get free puppies and have them fight with the puppies. And this is a thing, folks. This is absolutely a thing. I didn't think it was. And then there was another person, and this had to do with the dark web. They lost their dog. They had a report out, and this was in Mexico. And anyways, when they were looking for it was a cute little chihuahua. Somehow, somebody found the little cute chihuahua, and they were trying to sell it on the black web as a puppy, so they pulled out all of the teeth on this dog. And I guess somebody purchased it, and they was looking for their dog, these people in Mexico. Oh, hi. Yeah. I'm here for free readings. I just talk about other things while I'm doing this too, but yeah. I'm here. Put your question in, I'll answer it. I got my cards. I do this to support the animals. I've seen too many heinous acts against these animals, and I had a dream about a snake that was devouring people, and I think that this was meant for somebody. Because I have these crazy dreams, and sometimes snakes mean deceit. Someone's being deceived in this today. And sometimes when I get inspiration to come on for certain sketches, it's for this reason. Because people really weren't being devoured, but it had to do something with somebody's being deceived. I couldn't tell you who. But I'm sketching out the snake in my dream. But yeah, I'll wait for your question. It's always free for me. I don't charge for these things. I don't think that if you have any kind of intuitiveness, you should be charging or making a living on this. People were meant in this world to find a profession they like to do and to help humanity. Mine was medical, and this is what you do. And eventually, if I get enough subscribers, YouTube will pay me. So why would I extend any of that cost to you? I feel it would be wrong and against principles. Some of these tarot card readers do this, and I don't think that anybody should make a living. You go to a priest and you ask for absolution, because you did something wrong and whatever, if you're Catholic, for your sins. That priest shouldn't charge you for penance. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. I had this coloring. It was the evil snake. It was horrible. Oh, I'm holding on. I'm holding on, kitty. I'm here. I want to know about the next couple days for me. No sugar coating. Been really hard, more than I could bear. I'm good at this kind of stuff. I see deceit and stuff a lot. I got you, kitty. I don't sugarcoat anything. That's why no one really asks for a reading. A lot of people don't like my readings because I tell the truth. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to help people. And I only speak truth. I had to wash them again because that was still nasty, and I think I got it.
Oh, how was that washing yourself?
Well, it smelled in that one spot where that nasty coyote poop got on him, even after the bath, so I scrubbed him again, and he hated that.
Oh, did you run him underneath water or no?
No, I just did the scrubbing part since you already run him over water.
Right.
I got it really deep in there. But I'm going to finish my little snake sketch for my dream, and I'll be in there.
Real thing, so I even see if anyone will be on.
Alright. But yeah, my dog got into. We were on our last nature blog. He ended up rolling around in coyote poop and got it on his prong collar and everything, and then it came off, and he sat there and waited for me. I almost threw up. All he had was wipies. I couldn't even stream. I just kept scrubbing and scrubbing. I scrubbed him, scrubbed me. He had a bath. It was terrible, kitty. I still ended up with some good videos, but after I used the whole damn thing of wipies. It was truly horrible. But I think he's had so much cleanings. I don't think he'll ever do it again. But I'm getting to you now. Alright, your energy field right now is in a new moon. And this talks about new starts. Yeah, but new starts usually means it's an ending of a cycle. When a cycle ends, things never end nicely. They always end with drama and deceit. I will tell you that much. And a lot of negative people. I sense a lot of negative people around you that are... Maybe I'm drawing this for you, kitty. I had a dream about a snake that was deceitful. A very prophetic dream. And there was a whole family involved. And everybody transformed to these horrible snakes. Maybe it has something to do with you. I don't know. Sometimes when I have these dreams, it's about you guys sometimes, or somebody I'm going to talk to. But anyways, that's what new moon is a new start. New start always means bad ending. And then you're surrounded by a gibbous moon and a first quarter moon. And a gibbous moon just means it talks about goals and being close to achieving them. And the first quarter moon always talks about commitment, where people are questioning commitment. I see a lot of people that are negative, doubting you, stopping you from being happy, trying to stop you from making money, and trying to stop you from being happy altogether. And just a lot of, and I see one or two females are involved. and they're close to you. So I would just kind of be careful and read everyone around you, because this is deceit can only bother you if you let it and if you bring it into your circle. I'd keep my circle really slow and put a bubble around me if I was you. Gibeus moon means you're close to getting out of the situation. It's just going to take an act of hope. And a lot of times when you're coming out of these horrible situations, darkness tests you and tries to make you doubt everything about yourself. That's what darkness is. It makes you doubt what you are and wants you to give in by making you miserable. It does. It's terrible how it does it. And then the first quarter moon just talks about these people are just seeing how committed you are, and they don't believe you, and they're constantly just being nasty. And there is one male too. I don't know if there's a way for you to separate yourself, and I would send it up to the universe. I really would. And maybe even pray. I suggest praying all the time, because praying does help. Praying is one of the best things you can do in hard times. It really is. So that's what I would do, because I've been through a lot of hard times, and the thing is with hard times is that's why I sketched so much. When I was going through hard times, it was the only thing that got me through anything was sketching out things and what I seen. So, but like I said, deceitful people are always going to try to cover their own ass. It's just something they do. I don't know why. Deceitful people are always trying to do these things. But sometimes you just gotta separate yourself however you can. And if it's somebody you love and thought you loved, try to separate yourself from that person too, just to try to figure out what's going on. Because maybe it's that person. I feel it's some kind of situation going on with you. And you're kind of stuck in the middle. And they'll try to suck your goodness away, because that's what darkness does. It tries to suck away the goodness. That's why everybody goes to God. And I'm here to say there's nothing wrong with God. God has gotten me through a lot of bad times. He really has. My son got twisted up with a girl. He wasn't able to talk to me. It was an abusive situation for 2 years, and I left it up to God and just started sketching. And now he's out of it. He has an ankle bracelet because she lied and she was beating on him, trying to put him in jail, but he's back with me and his dad. And he's getting his life together, and she doesn't want to cooperate with the police, so he's probably going to get his little ankle bracelet off because he's cooperating and she's not, because there's no evidence. But she was testing his soul. And this is what dark people do. But you're surrounded by a lot of dark people. A lot of times when I see dark people, I see black eyes. And I see a lot of black eyes around you. I mean, I can see black eyes because it's kind of the thing that I do. But I see a lot of black eyes around you. They're just totally consumed with darkness. When people do dark acts, generally it's because they're consumed by darkness. And when you see their people that could see, when you see them, all you see is dark eyes. There's no color. And they give out this aura like it makes you sick, like your stomach hurts to be around them. I feel it's the same situation with you. So what I would do is, if you believe in God, I'd bring a cross. A cross, if you believe in it, if you believe in God, a cross will protect you. If you do not believe in God, a cross will not protect you. And I believe at this point, I think you need to go with God. And I always suggest people should go with God because He's really the only one that can get you through the darkness. And as the Bible says, as you walk through the valley of darkness, fear no evil. Through my darkest hour, I have gotten through that quote from the Bible. And it's a very prophetic quote. And it's a very powerful quote. Because some of the most powerful people in the world have said this and walked through the darkness. And you can do it. You absolutely can. I did it. It was scary, but I did it. I walked through some situations where people had all black eyes and they were horrible. And I just thought of good things and I quoted the Bible in my head. And I like that one. I'm partial to that one. Because I feel we all walk through the valley of darkness. Because darkness tests us all to see if we're going to sell out to God. And God will wait for you even if you sell out to Him. Because He's God. But you'll be stuck in there until you find God. So I definitely would pray if I was you. And I do, and like I said, praying, there is nothing wrong with it. People say it doesn't help some people, but it truly does. And it doesn't matter what faith you are, just pray to the light God. Do not pray to the dark God. Do not pray to a false God, because that's not going to get you nowhere at all. It really isn't. Because you pray to these false gods, it's who the people, the black eyes, are praying to, and that's not what you want. It's not good for anybody. And darkness will deceive you because they talk about how they can make your life better. That's how it gets you. And you gotta just ride through it. Or I'd like to, when I read the Bible sometimes, my favorite chapter of the Bible is Psalms. But I'm Catholic. But any kind of Bible will do. Because all Bibles lead to good thoughts. And in these dark times, which we are in a dark age, we are. We absolutely are. I have seen it. I have seen more dark eyes than I have seen people with bright light bulbs. I get excited to see people with light bulbs around them that are bright. And I guess I'm over here trying to just find people that have little light bulbs, because sometimes, I see so much dark things and dark things that surround us that I try to help the people that are of the light. Because I feel that we're in a battle between dark and light right now. We truly are. And this battle is not over. Not even a little bit. I feel it's only begun. And I do feel that. I don't know if it's just through that's with every generation, but I feel that we're at one of our darkest points. Because sometimes I get glimpses of other times and things like that, and I don't see as much darkness as I see now. Too many people are giving in to dark things. Too many. Greed is at its highest, and just nastiness altogether. I will tell you that. And however you want to perceive the darkness as the devil or negative energy, it's here. And it surrounds you in every facet. And it wants to convert all the people that are light to dark. Because that's what the mission is. That's why God does not want you to converse with it. That's why they say in the Bible that the snake offered Eve the apple. A snake represents deceit. And a lot of dark worshippers, they like the snake for what it represents. To me, I don't like the snakes. I don't like them at all, not one bit. I don't want a snake in my house. I think people are crazy to have them in their house. I just don't like their spiritual aura a lot of times. I think they're just a spirit animal for the dark ones, and I am not a dark one. Even though I have a little bit of dark blood and I'm more intuitive, it does not mean I perceive in these practices. This is what I was dreaming about, Kitty. This nasty snake. Maybe I think this represented you. I swear I think it did. Somebody in this stream today, it represents all my damn crazy dreams. I have tons and tons of them. I'm going to do this in... I'm going to get my colored pencils out. I have a ton of these. And this snake had black in it, so we're going to go with the black. But yeah, darkness will see its path, and darkness has all the rights like God. That's the scary thing about it, Lily. I've seen it, and I've died once. I've died 3 times and came back, and I've been told from the other side that darkness is at its height. And is battling with God in a really bad way. And some people are unsavable and some are savable. And some people are brought back to help and some people are left to die. When I died, that's what I seen. But I was brought back. I was not afraid to die. The light is very soothing. And I ended up dying in a very strange way. I ate a steak and they couldn't understand why I got that sick because I had a parasite in it that they could not identify. That was all through my body. Mostly it stayed in my gut area. My son insisted on taking me to the hospital, and he did. And they couldn't identify the parasite, and they had me on death's door. And so this doctor came and did experimental medicine into the United States, and 12 people got this medicine, only 2 survived. I was one of them. I believe it was because of God. I believe God wanted me to send a message. Because why else would I be saved when it was my time? Sometimes some people are brought back to help others, especially in these dark, dark times. So I see you getting out of your bad situation, but you're gonna have to embrace God on this one. He's the one trying to save it all. He really is. And he's doing the best job he can, but only people that actually want him to be in their life is the only ones that he can save. And I will tell you that. And this is from a person that has dark blood saying this, because I believe in balance. I honestly do. I believe that there should be free will and balance, which makes me a little lighter. But maybe because I'm a fighter, God brought me back and decided that I should help others through the dark period. And we're in a dark renaissance of faith. You see all kinds of different people fighting over religion, fighting over lots of stuff. The Catholics fighting in the Middle East with people. That's been going on for so many years. It's crazy. You just see a lot of it. And darkness has its way even in false religions. Anything that tries to veer you away from the light is dark, even if they say they're not dark. And they will try to convince you it's the way. And I'm not trying to preach to anybody, I just tell truth. And I got a lot more intuitive after I died and came back. And now I'm just here to try to save as many people as I can before my day comes. And I'm truly supposed to be dead, which I know my death days is past 100. So that's why I come over here. And I'll pray for you, Lily. I will. I definitely will pray for you. And I think this snake was for you, to show you that there is people in your house that are very deceitful. I don't know why the snake has checkers on it, but because no snake has checkers, but this one was checkered. Maybe it's somebody that wears checkered clothing. I don't know. Like plaid and things like that. Sometimes every snake kind of identifies themselves a little different. They're very specific about things like this. But this is the snake I seen. I'm trying to get these scales since this is here, but I am getting very better. I've only been doing this a year, sketching. And I do a lot of freehand sketching. And it's always these prophetic dreams, and I just get, and then I just literally just go and I just sketch away what I see. This is a nice drawing, though. I don't know why anybody would want to put a snake on their body. I sure would, but it would be a nice tattoo. Just somebody that was into this. See, it looks better. I shaded it that way. But if this refers to you, and there's someone that wears plaid in your household, I would veer away from them definitely. Because you don't want that. It's somebody with plaid that wears plaid. If that means anything to you. Because there's nobody in my whole household that wears plaid. I have altars and everything else around my house. I put protection rings. I would even, if you could, just like, you can make your own holy water. If you pray over water, and I heard this from a priest, so I know this is true because a priest told me, if you pray over water, you can make your own holy water and you could bless your own house. And they said any water will do it. Because all water comes from the earth. If they purify it and put in bottled water, it's still water that's from the earth. You could even do it with bottled water. Or you could seek refuge with a priest and just tell them about your stuff, and sometimes that helps. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. These are called the servants of God. Chong, stop. Stop. Chong, stop. My dog just wants to fight my cat all the damn time. Them two got a rivalry going. But yeah, that's another good suggestion. And I tell you these suggestions because some people don't know. And it's okay if you don't know. Because I didn't know till I talked to a priest that came through my work. And that's how I know. So, it's totally okay. It really honestly is. I'm putting some blue in here. Just to get this all nice. I think the more shading you do with something, the better. And I've been told by other sketch artists that the more detail you give in shading, the better it is. Sometimes after I sketch it out pencil, I'll take some colored pencils and sketch around it too. And I feel it makes it really nice. But yeah, I do suggest this. And then there's moon water I just found out about too. Because I know a white witch. And she's like a damn light bulb. She goes through personal trauma and asks me about the spirits around her because I see a lot of dead. Once you're dead, you see the dead. That's just all there is to it. And it is a true fact. And I told her about her dead relative that was from Salem. Because she was just hanging around her and I was able to communicate with her. And she told me that she was just looking after her relative, and I never said nothing, but she told me that she felt like she was related to somebody from Salem, and I was like, you absolutely are, and I told her her name and everything. And she was amazed, and I said that she fought it. They were going to burn her alive, but she fought, and then she ended up breaking her neck instead of being burned alive. So, it was helpful to her. And she was going through a bad domestic. So her dead relative was just hanging all around her. A very powerful dead relative. Very nice, though. I mean, I vibed with this witch from Salem that was hanging with her. But she could do a lot of things, but she can't see the dead because she never was dead. And that's ability only some people have. But once you're dead, you see things like black eyes and stuff. And I think that's a common thing for people that have died and came back. A lot of people have accounts of that. Because once you touch the other side and come back, it kind of stays with you. And probably that's why I get prophetic dreams of snakes and stuff when people are being deceived, because that's what happens. It's annoying because you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with this horrible nightmare cleaning your house. My back room is very clean, I'll tell you that much. But I didn't want it to be like that. I would have rather had it on a happy spring cleaning day, not coming from a nightmare about a damn snake that was devouring people and changing them into snakes, and then trying to, instead of eating them, was trying to make them their own and unify them and procreate. That's not what I wanted to wake up to at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I literally was so upset. I woke up from my own nightmare because I can leave my dream or stay. I don't have to stay in the dream. I was not watching the rest of that. It was horrifying. And if this had anything to do with you, I'd definitely be praying. Because it was bad. Bad, bad, bad. But all I can tell you is do not give in to whatever they're saying or doing, because you don't want to veer away from the light. You don't. In the end, the light is the only thing that's going to save you. Darkness will not. Darkness will deceive you, and darkness will not have your back. And this is coming from someone from Darkwood. This is why I side with God, and I try to help out and use my dark abilities to all that listen. Alright, I just shaded that a little. I think it's turning out pretty good. But I hope this helps you. I know it's horrible going through hard times. I have been through a lot of hard times. I have been through a domestic. I have been through just horrible things. I've been through having people just saying all kinds of nasty things about me and lying about me. I've had that happen a lot too. That's all. Some people, that's all they do is talk and lie. And you really don't want to be around that. And those people do have their day. God does protect his people. He really does. He protects it, and people call it karma. But that's how God protects us, through karma. Because he makes sure that energy they're giving out to the innocent goes right back to them. And even if the innocent people give in to the darkness, he still tries to protect for giving them bad karma, even if the other people give in. That's how much the light loves you. The light has your back, and it's like your father waiting for you to come back home. I mean, it's just the way it is. I've been like where I didn't believe in God for a minute. I was young. And when things happened and I started praying and going back to basics, God was there waiting for me all along. And I don't lie, because these are true facts. God was always there waiting for me. He was just waiting for me to get my head together, I guess. Okay, this was kind of a dark snake. So, I'm going to get some other colors. There was a lot of brown in this snake. It was a horrible little sucker. Horrible. But I hope if you're listening, my advice helped you. As I do, I try. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of color in this guy. He was just such a nasty looking creature with such dark colors. I like to try to replicate things that I see in my dreams, which usually plague me. I get plagued with horrible dreams all the damn time. That's why I be trying to do that. Sometimes I have a good dream. Sometimes. Not all the time, just a little bit. I'm just taking, now that I sketched this out, if you do a sketch, sometimes if you just put a little bit of the chalk pastels on top, you will have just lightly kind of go like this, and you'll have a lot of stuff here. And you'll still see those nice lines that you did. I'm just doing this here. I'm going to do that now that I got this, and I'll show you how to get your nice light lines done. I'm just doing this because I'm going to rub this in. It's all getting rubbed today. And I just rub around in a circle because my residents that are great artists that have passed away, before they pass away, they bless me with their knowledge of art. And they're wonderful. So I have gotten pretty decent because of them. And I always give tribute to Thomas Denny. He was a great artist. A great artist. He did portrait-like paintings for the Cleveland Indians, which is now the Cleveland Guardians. He made all the original Cleveland Indian ones, even the first African American player, and did their images. Did a lot of stuff that was awesome. God bless his memory. He did die a peaceful death, though. God blessed him with a peaceful death. He died on hospice, and he wanted to go. He wasn't, he was in his 70s, but he wasn't very happy. His wife left him. He was always upset that his wife left him, and she would come and feel guilty all the time when he came. And I say guilt because I always picked up guilt when she came around, and she would just be super bitchy all the time. And I just picked up a lot of that from her. She wasn't a very good person. Some of his kids were very not nice either. They were just a little bit tainted, his kids, and they were separated from him. I mean, his one son would come visit him, but I think they only kind of vied with him because of his money, which is the wrong reason to be nice to people. You should be nice to people because you genuinely like them. But these guys were all about money. It was terrible that he had to have that fate with his kids. I hope he got peace in his death. I really do. because he didn't have peace in his life, even though he was a famous artist. Some of his best memories were of drawing. And this is what we talked about, me and Tom, all the time. We talked about sketching, we talked about drawing, and these are things we talked about on a daily. And he was a very famous pastel artist. And in the end, art was this one thing that gave him peace. So I'm glad he had something, that and God. God and art brought him to peace. So look, that guy's glowing now. This is what you do. This is the beauty of pastels, my friends. I'm just putting a whole big thing here. I'm going to get all this here. I'm just going right around the edge because I'm trying to get a really crisp image. This is how I was taught by Tom and now Sharon, she's a famous sketch artist too, and she's not having a good time in her life, I'll tell you that much. I feel bad for her. She's stuck in a bed. What you need, Chong? And the poor thing, she can't walk. It's terrible. And I just thank God that I still am healthy. And after my jaw operation, I beat all of my illnesses because I could have been one of these victims very easily. It could have happened to me. That it could have. I'm fading out this dark background now. You just take the pastel and go in circles. You know what you do, you just do that. Trying to give the imagery of color here. This is how you introduce good color. Alright. I'm going to put some yellow in here. There's some yellow. I'll get it, Chong. Right in the middle here. I'm going to do this. Give this some nice color because it has yellow scales. There you go. Alright, now same thing. I'm gonna go right down the middle here, my friends. This is like one of my favorite things to deal with, these pastels. Alright, and we are done with this. I'm going to make his tongue red. I got this so far of what I've seen, an image. Alright, now I'm going to rub this in. I like to rub in circles because I feel it gives it, I've been told by great pastel artists for my work, this gives it a picture-like. It makes it look more realistic. You want realistic looking. Or just something that's going to stand out. Because that's what makes it good. Alright. Here, I'm just going to start doing circles. Like a little round here. We're going to do little circles around here. And I got gray. This grayish brown. Then I'm going to do circles. Just do a little strokes here. Just go in a circle. I'm going to kind of do another color that's not so dominant. That's what I'm doing is that. Just going around in a curve. And then you bring it around like this. There you go. See how that got that area nice? I'm trying to go from dark to light. I'm trying to do a faded out look. And then you just come down this way. I'm just doing little curvy lines and rubbing it in. I like using white poster board when you're doing something like this because I feel it's the best thing to do. I'm just trying to get where the darker stuff is there. And then the lighter is in the middle, and then the lighter parts are on the end. You want that nice faded out look. I feel it makes it come out sharper, your sketch. And you just keep going curvy lines and rubbing in. There you go. Curvy, rubby lines. And then I'm curving this way. Because I kind of want to get all this to where it looks faded. Alright, then same thing. And then this is not blending in, so we're going to do curvy lines. And then circles. And you could just keep doing that so you feel like it kind of completes the sketch. And this is what pastels do for you with these sketches. Because I just want it to be picturesque. I'm doing this down this way because I want even the edges to be nice. There you go. And this is the snake that I seen.
Chong,
Right there.
Got my ass.
Alright. Now I am going to take Chong for a walk, and I'll probably come back for another sketch. But this is the one I made on this stream. And if you guys like the material and you're subscribed, you'll get an alert. And I will be happy to give anybody a free reading that are friends of humanity and friends of the light. Because that's what I'm here, to serve the light. And all of its people that are having problems in the light. This is my mission. And I am happy to do things for people that are of good nature. Because that is what people should be doing for one another. And Kitty, I hope that things go right, and hopefully I will pray for you, and I hope things go well for you. And I'm going to pray for the light to help you, because you really need the light, and the light's always going to be there for you. So, and I will be back. I'm going to probably take a little intermission, and I'm going to probably come back. So I try to come on like every day. And I hope you guys enjoyed me, and I enjoyed talking to you guys. I really did. And I will see you in a little bit. And if not, I'll probably be on tomorrow for like, I don't know. My son, it's my birthday, and my son's not getting here to 4, so I'll probably do 1 or 2 streams towards morning and afternoon. And then after that, I'll just be spending time with my son. So I'll even be on tomorrow too. I go on these streams to help who I can every day. And have a great day and be blessed.